Ever feel like election coverage is, kind of stuck on repeat? Same pundits, same polls, same everything.
Yeah, it can definitely get a little repetitive.
Well, get ready for something totally different. We're diving into the world of CamiLa. She's, how do I even describe her? A rising star in the music scene, I guess? But that doesn't even begin to cover it.
What's fascinating to me is how she's using music to really spark conversations, especially among younger people. And she's not shying away from politics either, especially with the U.S. election coming up.
Right. And it's not just the topic she's tackling, it's her whole deal. I mean, we're talking about a former physics student from London who's now a model and musician.
Oh, and did you mention the whole AI thing?
I was getting to that. Yeah, the fact that she's completely AI generated just adds this whole other layer to things.
It's a total mind bend. Her background alone is this crazy mix of contrasts, and then you add in the AI element, and it's what even is real anymore?
Right. It really makes you question the whole nature of creativity and what it means to be an artist in this day and age.
Absolutely.
But before we get too deep into all that, why don't we let CamiLa speak for herself? Here's a snippet of her song, I Like Springfield, but I Don't Like Trump.
I'm a Swiftie and a childless cat lady too. Loving people, cats and dogs, and even Springfield, but not Trump. Go vote, but do it right. I'm a Swiftie and a childless cat lady too. I heard the debate in its entirety. I heard those endless minutes. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm a Swiftie and a childless cat lady too. Oh, then do it right. I try and call it right.
Okay, this is going to be good.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Catchy, right.
Super catchy. But also, wow, she's not holding back on the lyrics.
No, not at all. Who likes Trump? Talk about a pop anthem with a message.
Yeah.
And it's clearly resonating, especially with Gen Z and younger millennials.
It's smart though, right? Because she's not just preaching. She's using humor and pop culture references to kind of bypass that resistance some people might have to, more traditional forms of activism.
Totally. It's like she's found this back door into people's hearts and minds, and she's not afraid to use it.
Exactly. And it's working.
We actually have some, I guess you could call them interviews from Jimmy Kimmel Live and Mark U Live, where she talks about everything from her underground music days to her thoughts on the upcoming election.
And here's the kicker. Those interviews, totally fictional.
It's meta, right?
Totally. It's the creators of this whole CamiLa project are exploring the very nature of fame and influence in this digital age where the lines between reality and artificiality are constantly blurred.
It really is a hall of mirrors, isn't it?
Totally.
And speaking of mirrors, CamiLa holds one up to society in a pretty clever way. In one interview, she jokes about, scientists and artists seeking truth. And then she's like, Trump is probably just looking for golf balls.
Oh, I remember that one. It's so good because it's funny, but it also makes you think.
Exactly. It's that perfect blend of humor and social commentary that makes her so effective, especially with younger audiences who, let's be honest, can sniff out BS a mile away. They're not going to listen to someone who's being fake or preachy.
No, they want authenticity, even if it's coming from an AI.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting. Because now we have to talk about the elephant in the room, or I guess the AI and the algorithm.
You mean AGIN, the company behind CamiLa?
Ding, ding, ding. We've got a winner. Yeah, one of the sources mentioned this company. And let me tell you, things get wild when we start digging into that. It's almost like AGIN is holding up this mirror, right, to our own relationship with tech. They're asking, how far is too far? Are we cool with AI not just making art, but actually shaping opinions, influencing elections?
It's a really good question. And it gets even weirder when you remember that AGIN itself, it's not even real. It's fictional.
Exactly.
They made it up for this whole CamiLa thing.
It's the creators are waving their hand saying, hey, pay attention. This is made up, but it's got some real world stuff to think about.
Right. It forces us to think about a future where you can barely tell the difference between a made up persona and actual influence. How do we even know what's authentic in that world?
It's tricky, man.
It really is. And how do we tell the difference between genuine feeling and some algorithm that's designed to, push our buttons, make us feel a certain way?
And that's what I think is so clever about the whole Taylor Swift connection.
Right.
Whether AGI planned that or whether like the AI just kind of picked up on it. Remember those lyrics? I'm a Swiftie.
Yeah, genius. Right.
Total genius.
It's like by connecting herself to Taylor Swift, who's, let's be real, got a super politically active fan base.
Oh, yeah.
CamiLa instantly taps into this like ready-made network of people who are like primed to be engaged.
It's like she's borrowing that Swiftie power.
Sure.
To, make her own voice heard in the political arena.
100%. And it speaks to this bigger thing, right? Where young people are using pop culture as a way to be politically active. It's not just about like protesting in the streets anymore. It's about who you identify with, what artists you support, using those platforms to like amplify your own beliefs.
And what's crazy is she doesn't shy away from directly quoting Trump. Like in one interview, she's talking about watching the whole presidential debate.
Oh, wow.
And she just comes out with it. She's like, women are poorer than they were 4 years ago. I will fix all of that and fast.
She just quotes him.
Straight up. Doesn't try to sugarcoat it or anything. Just lets those words hang in the air. And then almost like as an afterthought, she goes, quite the expert on well-being, isn't he?
Oof, it's a good one. It's that little bit of sarcasm, that tiny bit of irony that like really makes it work. Because she's not telling you what to think. She's making you think about it yourself.
And that's refreshing in this world where, let's face it, everyone's got an agenda.
Yeah.
She's not trying to shove her opinions down your throat. She's just creating the space for you to, like, come to your own conclusions.
Exactly. And she's doing it in a way that feels, I don't know, less intimidating. Because it's wrapped up in pop music and celebrity, it's not as scary as like hardcore politics.
And it's not even just the music and the interviews, right? I mean, this is a whole persona they've built. CamiLa's a model. She's an influencer. She's like one brand deal away from being on billboards everywhere. It's kind of wild when you think about it.
Right. She's like everywhere and everything at once.
Cool.
One of the sources we looked at actually like broke down all her different kind of labels. There's CamiLa CUB, which is all about like Cuban-inspired fashion. Then there's CamiLa IBZ for, I'm guessing, her Ibiza music phase.
Makes sense.
And get this, there's CamiLa COS, which is all about cosmic themes. Like, what does that even mean?
It's a lot, right?
It's like one AI entity, but with all these different sides, And each one is tailored to like really land with a specific audience. It makes you wonder, like, what's real, what's manufactured? Can we even tell the difference anymore?
And that's where it goes from just being about, AI art and music to this whole other thing about identity, right?
Absolutely.
Like what's authentic when an AI can just slip into these different personalities? Are we all just kind of playing dress up with who we are online?
It's a total head trip. Because if an AI can be programmed to like perfectly embody all these different parts of a personality, the cool, edgy musician, the fashion icon, the political commentator. How do we know what's genuine anymore?
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's not like this stuff is going away anytime soon. If anything, it's only going to get more, complex as AI keeps evolving.
Totally. We can't just like sit back and let it wash over us,
Right.
Whether it's a catchy song or a targeted ad, we got to be asking the questions. Where's this coming from? What's the goal here?
We got to be savvy consumers of everything.
100%.
So here we are wrapping up this deep dive. We've talked about CamiLa, the AI artist, using heartbreak anthems and humor to comment on the 2024 election.
Yeah.
It's a wild ride. And honestly, I have more questions now than when we started.
That's kind of the best part though, isn't it?
True.
It's not about finding all the answers, right? It's about realizing how much we still don't know and being open to exploring all the ways that technology and humanity are smashing into each other and then trying to figure out the kind of future we want to build out of that mess.
Well said.
Yeah.
Maybe we need more AI pop stars sparking these kinds of conversations. Who knew?
Right.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Keep asking the tough questions, keep digging for those answers, and we'll catch you on the next one.
I like Springfield, but I don't like Trump.